Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, and I'm excited to be here with Simply Tailored Events, and welcome to the show, Taylor.
Thank you, Fred.
I want to talk to you about, the essence of what you do as far as creating memories, creating moments. What gave you the inspiration to start your firm?
Well, I saw the events out there, and I know that a lot of companies work with more of a template, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want the generic, more cookie-cutter type events. I wanted to really just tailor these events and make bold statements and have, whether it is a wedding, and have, the feel of it come through of what the bride wants, whether it's at a beach or if it's at, a Catholic ceremony in a church. I really wanted the bride to shine through through her event, as well as corporate events where, the company has a message they're trying to send their partners and or the people they're trying to reach out to, consumers. I really wanted their message to come through in a unique and memorable way.
And that takes a lot of listening, doesn't it?
Oh, of course. I meet a lot with the clients beforehand. I talk to them and I find out what their likes and dislikes are, what their strengths and weaknesses are, if they're companies. And I really just kind of sit down with them and get a feel of what it is that they want. And then it's obviously a lot of listening, but also a lot of give and take back and forth. I'll present an idea to them, and then they'll come back to me and say, well, actually, I was thinking more of this.
So it morphs into something
and it really
even
gets
greater.
tailored. It gets tailored into something that is perfect for them, so that on the day of the event, it just kind of falls into place because it's exactly what they want.
Yeah, and the weddings now that I've seen, boy, they can be really extravagant by just making a few changes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's really no limit now to weddings. It's and that's the other thing that I really got interested in is that.
Well, you're making me nervous. There's no limit. My daughter,
not
my daughter will get married in about 10 years. Hopefully, 10 years.
No, but that's where I was going. Is that monetarily, there's really no limit. It's because you have these budgets and they're just skyrocketing, and people are like, oh my gosh, it costs $70,000 for my daughter to get married. No. That doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
You can actually cut that probably in half, and even more than in half, and still get the same experience. It's just called shopping around, doing your research, finding the people that you can get deals with, negotiating rates, building those relationships with companies that want to work with you because they know that you're doing a good job as a company, but then also because they want to be a part of these great experiences that you're creating.
So let's talk about real briefly, the special events, milestones in life.
Yes.
Wedding, we talked about wedding.
There's also bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs for Jewish ceremonies. There's also retirement parties, birthday parties. I'm working on a 50th birthday party right now, and it's for a person that I used to work with, and she wants ice sculptures, and there was even mention of silk sisters coming down the ceiling. So the sky is the limit, really.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just real briefly, what was one of the more memorable either things you've put in a wedding, or events you've put in a wedding, or event you put on?
Well, most recently, I just actually helped a children's yoga studio launch, and we had a little petting zoo set up outside, and we had little baby goats and lambs and stuff. It was actually really cute. On the flip side of that, on the other side of the parking lot, we also had a bounce house and things like that while the yoga demonstrations were going on. Well, there was so much activity happening in the parking lot that I was having to kind of just shepherd people inside, because I was like, okay, would you like to see the yoga demonstrations?
Yeah.
Because the party was kind of happening a little bit outside.
Sure.
It was fun, and everybody had a great time, and the enrollment for the actual yoga studio.
And that's what the key is for business. So let's talk about the business events, and that's getting your message, getting what your culture is all about, getting what your product or service is all about, and bringing that as part of your message.
Well, and it's also making yourself stand out. We've already been talking, the yoga studio owner and I are already talking about the next event she wants to do in the next quarter, because it's really it makes her stand out and stick in the mind of the people that are enrolling their kids in. If they take this much care in the event that they're putting on in this open house, this launch, then this is the kind of care they're going to give my child.
And let's expand that a little bit. You could do sporting events?
Of course, I do sporting events. I can do any launch parties, really, or product launches, whether it's a company that just has a small product, or if it's they have a whole brand that they're trying to do, I can do that. I just really, I can do pretty much all corporate events.
The one great thing about corporate events is it gives you one-on-one time, even though it might be limited to a lot of people, but it gives you the ability to follow up afterwards. So it almost gives a reason for everybody to come, because it's a social or it's a party or it's something fun, if you will. But it gives you that kickoff to the next meeting you're going to have to maybe do some business with that individual.
Right. I actually think that for me, like, it's the social component is what I focus on, whether it is a wedding or a corporate event or a social event. I focus on the social aspect because I think that the communication between people to people is really important, and that's really what's going to catch people to want to do the follow-ups later. So if they're not going to like the person you're with, then you're probably not going to follow up with them to do business later. So it's kind of like the environments that I'm creating are making it conducive to actually creating those relationships so that the follow-up happens just kind of like it's just like it's going to happen.
Right.
It's like it would be non-commonplace for it not to happen.
Yeah, that's great for the business side. So we talked about the personal side and the business side. Those that would like to give you a call and get some consultation from you on how to make their business event great or their social event great, how can they reach you, Taylor?
They can either call me at 818-253-4095, or they can send me an email at taylor@simplytailored.com, and that's with a Y. simplytailored.com.
Perfect. So one more time, the phone number, 818-253-4095, and Taylor at
simplytailored.com.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show and the Business Spotlight. This has been Taylor Ellingsworth from Simply Tailored, and this has been your Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. Your host, Fred Arnold, on AM 1220 KHTS.